English 11, here we go. So at this point, we hopefully are beginning to wrap up Scarlet Letter. If you're where you should be with reading, you've got about 9 chapters left coming into this week. So we're going to be wrapping it up this week into next. So let's walk you through the agenda. I will tell you ahead of time that the in-class portion of the agenda is a little screwy due to the fact that a lot of what we're doing is based around a reading schedule that is on a 5-day week basis while we're having 4-day week rotations. So I've laid it out as best I can, as clear as I can. If you have any questions or confused, please let me know. But hopefully it won't be too confusing, and hopefully I've laid it out in a relatively straightforward way. I do want to say that this does not impact remote days at all. So on the day when you're remote, it's the same business as usual. There's a remote section. It's all there for every single cohort. But for the in-class, each period and cohort has their own section. So please check and make sure that you are following the instructions for your period and cohort to avoid any confusion, chaos, extravaganzas. So let's go through the agenda here. It's still a work in progress as I haven't had time to finish up, but it should be good to go by tomorrow, period E. Gosh, I hope so. So here's just a note that once again says, please look for the agenda that matches your individual cohort. So for example, here we go, period E, cohort 1, you're going to be taking care of, your agenda for the day is essentially going to be what the other cohorts were last week, and that is to discuss Scarlet Letter. There will be a Zoom call. I'll put the agenda right here. You're welcome to join. Once again, optional. But if you want clarification, you want to discuss, you want to listen to our discussion, whatever that may be, right there. And then you're going to finish up the work you started last week with the Age of Reason. And then essentially you guys there are 2 big assignments coming up that everyone else, or hopefully not everybody else, hope everybody's aware of. Those being the Scarlet Letter Response 2, which is due on Monday or Tuesday, depending on your period, and the Scarlet Letter Alphabet Book First 12 Letters. And now for those first 12 letters, I'm looking for you to have 12 paragraphs at least, as far at least 12 different paragraphs written associating with your letters so that we can kind of give some feedback on those, okay? And that's a check-in next week. And the reason that I'm having you guys do that next week is because, believe it or not, that whole alphabet book is due in about 2 weeks, roughly from when you're probably watching this video. So I do not want you all to start working on it the week it's due. I'm going to tell you right now, if you do that, you're putting yourself in for a very stressful time, and the grade you get on that assignment probably will not be the grade you would like. All right, that's all I'm going to say about that. So please be taking advantage of these check-ins. They're there not to just throw extra nonsense at you, but because I want you to take advantage of the time that you have. One thing I do want to point out is this. On those letters, please identify at least one letter you want me to zoom in on and really focus on and give you some actual feedback on. I'm going to be doing some very cursory look-throughs, make sure they're all there, make sure nothing looks too extraneous. But if there's one letter you really want me to zoom in and give you some actual feedback on, please indicate that either in the comments on the document or or a private comment when you submit it, whatever it is. So let me know what you want. So that's period E, essentially discussing the novel, and then time to finish up your Age of Reason stuff, and then time to work on the big stuff that's coming up next week. So that's period E, and obviously reading goes without saying. Period F, you're going to be doing what period E did last week. So we'll be doing a little bit of work with the Age of Reason and some of the history stuff. Thankfully, you guys do not get my haphazard material, so it's already there for you. So you're going to read through that and do some work with that. Once again, Scarlet Letter reading, and the letters are due for you as well next week. Please be aware of that. So period E and F, you're going to be following the same pattern that we have been doing. So you'll come in, we'll talk about the Scarlet Letter as much as you see fit to do so. And once again, remote students, you're welcome to join in. Period F, cohort 1 remote students, you don't need to worry about zooming in. You have nothing that day. That's on Friday. So we'll zoom in. After we're done talking, once again, it'll be time for you to work on your alphabet book and to be reading. Okay? One thing I want to point out here. The final reading check for this book originally was set on days that have now been moved around due to the half days and the remote only days. So because of this, period E, your reading due date for the last section of the book has been bumped up a little bit. The last section is only 4 chapters as opposed to 5. I'm giving you that heads up now so that if you know in advance that you're going to have a tough time getting that reading done, plan accordingly, okay? Period F, it's been bumped up 1 day, but not as much. It doesn't flop a weekend. Once again, remote is straightforward. Look, in remote, I'm not giving you anything extra. You're doing a Scarlet Letter Alphabet book, that's it. And you're reading, okay? And if you're cohort 1, period F or period E, you're working on the Age of Reason stuff, okay? But that's it. Nothing new being thrown at you this week. I really want you to do well in these Scarlet Letter Alphabet books. This is a huge grade for you guys right now. It's going to be worth more than the response once those go in. Those I've begun to grade. I will continue to grade. And gosh, I hope I can find some time to get those in pretty soon here. So resources are not here yet. Due dates are here, though. So here we go. Scarlet Letter Alphabet book. Once again, it's about 2 weeks away, maybe 3, depending on how you want to do the math. But, 2 to 3 weeks. Rough draft of letters 1 through 12, and those could be any 12 letters. It doesn't need to be A through M or whatever. That's due next week on Thursday and Wednesday, I believe. That sounds right. Wednesday, Thursday, yes. And reading is due the following those days right there, 10/9, 10/13, and that's the date I was mentioning. So period E, your reading schedule has been bumped up a little bit because of the fact that the schedule kind of was developed and shown to us a little bit after I made that initial document. And cohort 1 only. So if you're cohort 2, don't worry about this yet. Don't worry, your time will come. Cohort 1, Age of Reason assignment, please have that done for 10/7 or 10/8. So hopefully, I know this was a lot here, and it's kind of broken up as such. If you have questions, please let me know. I'll talk more about what you can expect on the remote days next week, but the short answer is going to be it's time for you to work on your alphabet books. Get those done. Get those looking as good as they can. And we'll talk a little bit more about how that'll look and what you can be doing on those days as well when we get closer. So hopefully this is at least somewhat informative. Hopefully it may answer some questions. And if not, well, I'm sorry. But that's about all I got for right now. So hope to see you soon. I'll see you soon. How about half you this week, half you next week, and half you whenever I see you. So take it easy. Have a good evening, and I'll see you when I see you.